Household income of £20,000. The number on the screen doesn't move. You've been watching it for 4 minutes. The central heating is dead, again, and the last text from the landlord 2 days ago simply said, "looking into it." You reach for the kettle, your breath clouding the cold air of the kitchen, and wonder if a warm mug of tea can truly make a difference. The heating engineer's call-out fee is already a hole in your carefully mapped week. The boiler is less a machine and more a chronic illness, a constant, low-level drain on resources you don't possess. It's a physical manifestation of everything else that feels just a little bit broken. You pull on an extra jumper, then another. The morning light barely penetrates the gray outside, matching the gray ache in your shoulders. The bus journey is always long, always crowded, an enforced intimacy with strangers whose lives hum with their own silent calculations. Every stop adds a new layer of bodies, a new set of hurried breaths, each person a data point in the relentless surge towards the city's center. All of you propelled by the precise, unwavering rhythm of a wage that barely covers the cost of movement itself. At the supermarket, you trace the edge of the reduced aisle, a silent hunter. The yellow stickers are a language you've mastered, a subtle semaphore of urgency and opportunity. You pick up the slightly bruised apples, the nearly expired yogurts, each selection a small victory against the tide. The algorithm of your life is simple. Minimize outgoings, maximize calories, defer anything not immediately essential. Tonight, it's pasta with a jarred sauce. Stretch with whatever vegetables you have left. The child needs new shoes. You told them yesterday that maybe next month. The old ones are splitting at the sole, letting in the damp. This is the truth of the system at this level, not grand struggles for freedom, but the relentless, everyday attrition of small necessities. It's the constant decision between two equally vital needs, each choice an act of triage on your own life. The television flickers news about inflation, about interest rates, abstract numbers. These translate, in your world, to another canceled treat, another deferred repair, another quiet conversation about what you simply cannot afford. Household income of £40,000. The train carriage is less crowded now, the seats a little softer, but the commute is still a precise allocation of time you don't truly own. You scroll through the news, the headlines a distant hum, the real focus on the notification from your banking app. Another £38 direct debit has gone out for the car insurance. The premium has jumped by almost 10% this year. No reason given, just a new number on a dated policy. The new build semi-detached house, purchased with the help of a government scheme, felt like an achievement, a foothold. Now, with mortgage rates inching upwards, it feels more like a heavy anchor. The interest payment alone swallows a significant chunk of your monthly income before you even buy a loaf of bread. You remember the excitement of the show home, the perfect kitchen, the manicured lawn? Now, you're constantly juggling the rising cost of utilities, the inevitable repairs, the council tax that always seems to climb a little faster than your paycheck. A colleague mentions their recent holiday to Greece, the sun-drenched beaches, the fresh seafood. You nod, smile, and think about the caravan park you booked for the summer holidays. A short drive to the coast, weather permitting. It will be fun. It always is. Evenings often involve a walk in the local park, a free expanse of green that offers a brief respite. Before settling in to watch a familiar show on a shared streaming account, a small budgeted luxury. But the small, insistent whisper in your mind points to the difference. The unspoken gap that widens with each passing year. It's the feeling that you're treading water, while others are slowly, steadily swimming ahead. Later, in the supermarket, you can afford the branded cereal, the slightly nicer coffee, but you still instinctively check the unit price, still wince at the cost of fresh fish, still defer the bigger purchases. The machine under you operates with a quiet efficiency, extracting its share, not through outright denial. Instead, it's through the subtle, persistent erosion of disposable income, ensuring that every small gain is quickly absorbed by the cost of simply existing within its carefully calibrated middle layers. The brutal structural irony is not that you struggle to survive, it's that you now struggle to merely stay still. Household income of £75,000. The meeting drone of a sales report, slides clicking by on a polished conference room screen. You sip lukewarm coffee, watching the numbers. Profit margins up, regional targets exceeded, your bonus next quarter looks promising. You mentally allocate it, half to the children's private school fees, a quarter to the new conservatory you've been planning. The rest goes to topping up the ever-dwindling savings account. The numbers are good, but the pressure in your chest is a constant, low-grade thrum. You drive the children to school in the new SUV, a reliable German make, precisely what you were meant to drive. You wave goodbye, then accelerate towards the city office, the morning traffic a familiar ritual of aggression and impatience. The school gates are a parade of similar cars, similar hurried goodbyes, a silent competition of aspiration and expectation. You know the fees are substantial, a sacrifice, but it's an investment, you tell yourself. It's a necessary step on their path, a leg up that you didn't have. In the evening, over a takeaway that cost more than you care to admit, your partner brings up the prospect of moving to a larger house. With interest rates so high, you ask, the words tight. The current house is already straining your budget, the mortgage repayment now a leviathan that devours a significant portion of your net income, pushing what's viable to its absolute limit. The conversation hangs in the air, unfinished, a landscape of unmet desires and rising costs. You check your investment portfolio again, the small gains feeling insignificant against the backdrop of global uncertainty. The market is volatile. Everyone says it. The system demands constant vigilance, constant adjustment. You've successfully climbed to a certain height, achieved a comfortable vantage point, but the climb itself has redefined the meaning of comfort. It now involves a new, more abstract kind of anxiety, a fear not of basic survival, but of the structural slippage, the loss of status. It's the inability to provide the next rung on the ladder for those who depend on you. Household income of £125,000. The meeting is in a private members club. Hushed tones, dark wood, the scent of old money and new ambition. The deal is complex, involving multiple jurisdictions. 7 figures on the table. You speak confidently, the language of risk assessment and market leverage rolling off your tongue. Your bespoke suit fits perfectly, a second skin. Lunch is grilled sea bass and a crisp white wine, the kind of meal that costs more than a week's groceries for most people you know. Your phone buzzes with an alert. Your new car is ready for collection. A sleek electric model, the latest technology, a status symbol that also makes a statement about sustainability. It feels less like a purchase and more like a logical extension of your life, a functional accessory. The cost is considerable, but it barely registers in the wider ledger of your financial life, a mere rounding error in the grand scheme of your quarterly earnings. Weekends are spent at the country house or on short city breaks across Europe. The children attend a boarding school, their holidays filled with curated experiences, skiing in Switzerland, cultural tours in Italy. You communicate via video calls, carefully scheduled, each interaction a demonstration of loving intent battling against the relentless demands of your career. You are providing them with opportunities, with a global perspective, with a different kind of freedom. You tell yourself this constantly. The brutal structural irony is that you now own a different kind of responsibility. A ceaseless commitment to preserving and growing the capital that bought you this life. The freedom from financial struggle at the lower levels has been replaced by the quiet tyranny of financial management. It's the constant monitoring of markets, the strategic deployment of assets, the quiet dread of economic downturns that could erode everything you've built. The goalposts have not disappeared. They have simply moved to a different, higher, and arguably more abstract playing field. Household income of £500,000. The private jet hums, a low thrum beneath your feet. as it cuts through the clouds above the English Channel. Your assistant is confirming the details of the Monaco meeting, the multi-million-pound acquisition already underway. The numbers are a series of zeros that barely register as distinct entities anymore. A glass of vintage champagne is placed on the small table beside you. The world outside is a patchwork of greens and browns, shrinking to insignificance below. You oversee a portfolio of global assets, intricate structures designed for maximum tax efficiency and generational wealth preservation. Your days are a blur of high-stakes negotiations, board meetings, and calls with advisors spread across different time zones. The decisions you make affect thousands of lives, move markets, reshape industries. The power is palpable, almost intoxicating, yet it also feels less like a personal attribute and more like a current you are merely directing. The luxury is absolute, seamless. A personal chef curates your meals. Exclusive members' clubs offer privacy and discretion. Every need is anticipated, every desire catered to, often before it is even fully formed. The world bends to your will, a testament to the immense power of accumulated income. It's the ability to outsource discomfort, inconvenience, and even much of the mundane reality of daily existence. And yet, the conversation in your head is never truly quiet. It's about the next deal, the next investment, the next strategic move. It's about safeguarding, expanding, ensuring the continuity of this unparalleled freedom. The machine you navigate here is global, vast, and utterly indifferent to human sentiment. It demands perpetual motion, constant growth, unwavering vigilance. The initial hunger for security has transmuted into a relentless pursuit of expansion, a game with ever higher stakes. The brutal structural irony is not that you are free from the system. It's that you have become, in essence, its most efficient and dedicated operator. The golden key that unlocked so many doors also quietly locked you into an infinitely complex shimmering cage of your own design.